Detroit Lions fans, Detroit Den 313 back with a game day episode. Bills versus Lions. I'm excited for it, man. I cannot wait. A lot of people are saying that this is going to be a shootout. I don't know if I believe that, but we'll get into it along with a few other things, Steve, that I think are going to be some exciting things about this game, especially if you're going to be there in the atmosphere watching it. But before we get going, Steve, how you feeling back with us from vacation? You know what I mean? You're not back in town yet, but it's been a little time with us today. We posted a little picture of you on the beach yesterday.
Yeah,
you see that?
I did happen to see that. All of my loyal followers have reached out to me and said that this will not be the end. The only way to go from here is up, and I will have my revenge. I already have some plans in the work. I'm just waiting on Mama Ford to send me a couple pictures, and
you better not. Mom, there is a line in the sand, Mom. Do not cross that line.
Mama Ford knows where her allegiances lie. I'll just say that. But no, I hope the game sucks for everyone. I hope no one has a good time since I can't make it. This will be the first time missing a Lions game since we've had season tickets. We're coming back on Sunday, but you guys are going to have a good game. I think that this is going to be game. It's obviously game of the week. I think it's going to be an exciting game. I think it's going to be a nerve-wracking game. I think it's going to be a lot of anxiety, and we'll talk about more as we go. But AFC versus NFC. First question, we talked about it a little bit the other night. Is this a potential Super Bowl matchup?
Yeah, I told you I'm still standing on business, man. Nope, I don't think so. We're probably going to see them Kansas City Chiefs. I think the Buffalo Bills have shown a strong history of not being able to make the dance, and I won't pick them to make the dance until they prove to me that they're a dance-making team, right? We got a quarterback of the Detroit Lions that's been to the dance. He's made it to the dance with a team that I believe was worse than the team that he has right now. So we got a quarterback that knows how to make it to the dance. Hopefully he's now learned how to lead the dance and win the dance. But I can't say that it would be the Buffalo Bills, man. Not taking anything away from them. They got a really good football team.
Do you think Josh Allen's going to be able to do what he did last week against the Rams? Like, obviously that's what everyone's talking about. He was responsible for 400 yards, 5 touchdowns. Like, do you think he's going to be able to do that to this Lions defense, or how are we looking health wise?
Let's get into that injury report real quick before I answer that question. We are looks as similar as yesterday. Still looking at no Trevor Nowatzki. I'm still wondering, guys, put it in the comments if you know, because I did not see. Was that an injury that happened at practice? But it looks like we're gonna have Taylor Decker, Aleem McNeil, Levi Onwuzurike, Josh Pascal, and DJ Reader. So we are gonna have some dogs back. So that leads me to feel like you're not just gonna come in here and do what you want. They put up 42 points in a losing effort against the Rams. I don't think that's what you're going to see in Detroit. I think that this defense is going to show up and show out. We've now had a nice little stretch of days for these guys to start to digest this defense and learn. And guys, if you don't know, Steve is actually in Iraq right now. So listen, just bear with us. So he fights for his life out there. But this is going to be a defense, man, that is underrated to me. Would you say, Steve, that they're calling it the Legion of Boom?
Yeah, that D-line, just that shuffle room of the Legion of Whom. I can't take credit for that one. Someone left that in a comment on one of our previous episodes, but it got a good laugh out of me and it stuck in my head. But yeah, we're getting a lot of guys back. We had to use that little mini bye week. We haven't had a game since last Thursday. So 10 days off, much is needed. Here's the deal.
Yeah.
All right. Josh Allen's one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. Like it's him or Patrick Mahomes. Like, honestly, I think Josh Allen has just as much talent, if not more. Physically, I think he can do everything. There's not a throw he can't make. He's super big. He's got a cannon of an arm. He's athletic. He can run. He can extend plays. He can have designed quarterback runs. Like, he checks damn near every single box, okay? The only box he doesn't check isn't anything physical. It's just he hasn't won that big game. And this isn't a playoff game. This isn't a do or die, win or go home type thing. But, man, he scares me. He does scare me. But I am happy that we have Aaron Glenn and we have our defense getting healthy. And I'm really happy that none of these fireworks are going to land through my pineapple window in the background there. I'm sick of looking at that thing too. But I think Josh Allen, man, I just think he's Superman. So if we can keep him to, being that little nerd Clark Kent for a couple quarters and keep him at bay, not let him do what he did to the Rams, I think we'll be okay because other than Josh Allen, no one on that team really scares me offensively. I don't think they run the ball as well as we do. I don't think they have the receivers that we do, but they got some guys defensively too that are pretty solid. They're playing pretty good defense. I know they got lit up by the Rams last week, but the story of the day is going to be Josh Allen. Like, I'm not breaking any news, and it's easy to sit here and say it. It's hard to go out there and stop it.
Yeah, I just believe that just go let Josh Allen be Superman. Let him be Superman, because at the end of the day, he's gonna have to put the team on his back and continuously make plays. Just make him to make Superman type of plays. Don't let him go out there, get a rhythm, and just kind of dink and duck us and make plays in a position of comfort. I think that this Detroit Lions defense is being underrated with their speed. I don't think that quarterbacks are going to have as easy of a time as they have in the past of just running around on us. I think Quan Alexander, David Long, uh,
Jack
Jamal
Campbell.
Adams, Jamal Adams. I'm even just talking about the additions. These are guys that are going to be able to run them down, man. It's not going to be the slower guys, that the guys slower of foot that were out there before. I think that we have an upgrade of speed. Now, I think we lost some of our power coming downhill to a certain ability as far as shock and shedding blockers. But as far as speed, team defensive speed now, I think it might have got better, man. And as these guys digest the defense, as they can start to play more games with their blitzes and their stunts, I think that Aaron Glenn is going to be able to dial up some stuff that confuses Josh Allen, or at a minimum, just kind of keeps him in the pocket in a different type of way of just holding them inside with your defensive end, holding them and boxing them in with the ends. You might see those ends dipping down inside, because we talked about it before. Za'Darius Smith can play anywhere from a 1 technique to a 9. Right. Levi Onwuzurike, 1 technique to a 9. Right. Pat O'Connor, 1 technique. He can play the 9, he can play DN, but I would say 1 technique to a 5 for sure. He's shown that he can play really well. And then Jonah Williams is another guy that's versatile, that can bounce all over this line. We don't have guys that are kind of locked into certain positions outside of maybe like a guy like DJ Reader. You're going to see him at a 0 or a 1. But outside of that, Aleem can bounce around. Most of these D linemen can bounce around and play different positions. So you don't know what you're going to get when you see these fronts, man. We can do all types of games, all types of different stuff. When you start getting into Jamal Adams, will you play him in the box, outside the box? Brian Branch can be anywhere. Kirby Joseph. It's just, there's so many things that we can do with this defense, man. People keep on talking about this defense like it isn't going to be a good defense. Like we're so beat up and banged up that we're putting a subpar defense out there. I love what we got. I love what we got defensively. I think we could see some nasty things and a nasty run moving forward. So, and I think people are probably going to be shocked, but I'm not going to be shocked because I believe in what we got, man. And I'm not just talking about Aaron Glenn. I'm talking about the personnel.
Yeah, I mean, we've been shuffling this defense around since Hutch got hurt. Like, this is just the story of the season. Nothing's changing. Like, I think we're getting better. You want to be playing your best football in December. That's all I want to see from the Lions this game. Win or lose, I want to see a damn good football team, a damn good football effort. I don't want to say this is a meaningless game, throwaway game, because every game matters in the NFL. This isn't baseball. This isn't the NBA. It's not hockey. Losses in the NFL mean something. And I'm not saying that the Lions are going to go out there and lose. They're favorites, and I'll give you my prediction at the end. But this defense hasn't played a whole lot of football together as a unit. I think this is the time where everyone's getting healthy. We're getting some guys back for a pivotal point of the season. DJ Reader been out for a couple weeks. Aleem McNeil, Taylor Decker on the other side of the football. Like, we've been shuffling pieces in and out. These guys who are coming from other practice squads, getting meaningful reps and meaningful football games. Now it's, hey, we're changing your role. We're getting some starters back in there. Let's see how they do. Ultimately, I trust Aaron Glenn, but I imagine he spent the whole week at his office getting ready for this Buffalo Bills team, mainly Josh Allen. But this isn't the Josh Allen show. Last I checked, the Lions have a better record, a better football team, because what I saw last week was Matt Stafford. I think he's the same type of quarterback as Jared Goff. They're not overly mobile. They're I don't want to use gunslingers, but they're more of like a pocket passing quarterback. They have weapons all around them. Matt Stafford has Puka Nacua, Cooper Kupp. I'll take Jared Goff and his Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jameson Williams, Sam Laporta. Like, I think we're better offensively. So I watched old man Stafford, go out there and light them up last week. What do you think Jameson Williams and those boys are going to do? I think my player of the game, I'll just get it off my chest right now. I think Jared Goff's going for 350. 353 touchdowns. Like, I didn't see much out of the Buffalo Bills defense last week. So I'm looking at Ben Johnson, the most electric offense in the NFL, a solid running game. I think this offense we might put up 50.
Yeah, and that's the bottom line for me, and that's what I mean when I say just let Josh Allen be Superman. Force him to make Superman type of plays, and then let our offense come down there, march down the field, and do what we want. I don't think that they stop our run game. That's where it starts for me. I don't think that they didn't show anything last week to me that makes me believe that they're going to come out and just dominate us up front. If you don't dominate us up front, then you know the play action game is going to be there, and we're going to be able to make plays. So I agree with you. Except I don't think that we're going to throw for 300 or 350 because I don't think we're going to have to. I think the run game is going to be clicking. I think it's going to be one of those games where you see Jared Goff maybe throw it 25 times, maybe for, I don't know, 250 yards, something easy, maybe a couple of touchdowns, but he does it in the moments where it's there. He doesn't have to throw it around 40 times and make it happen. Now, I'm not saying that it won't be there for him to be able to. I just don't think he'll need to do that because our O-line is better than their D-line, especially from what I've seen so far out of the Buffalo Bills. So that's what I'm looking for, man. If I'm picking a player of the game this week, I think that it's going to be Jahmyr Gibbs because I think Jahmyr Gibbs is going to break some big ones. He's at home. He loves those black jerseys. He said he feels like it gives him a little bit of extra pep in his step. I think that we're going to see just him make some big plays. David Montgomery will be tough. That O-line is going to be tough up front. We're getting Taylor Decker back. So this O-line is going to be at full complement again, and I'm excited for that. I just don't know how you stop this offense. Everybody's thinking that it's going to be a shootout. I think that the Lions are going to be putting up points, and the Buffalo Bills are a good football team. We're talking about Amari Cooper, Shakur. They got a young guy and Keon Coleman. They got Dalton Kincaid. They got weapons offensively. James Cook, like they got weapons. I'm not taking anything away from this offense, but our defense will find ways to get stops, and I just don't see them stopping this Detroit offense. And if they don't stop them when they're getting off of the field or they're settling for 3 and we're getting touchdowns, ultimately we win that football game. So I'm not going to say a blowout, but my score prediction leading into it, I think that we're going to have a little bit of a buffer zone because we're going to be able to do what we want offensively.
Do you remember last year when we played the Chiefs week 1? I think this is the same type of game. I think Josh Allen's the best player on either side of the field. That's fine. That's whatever. I'll take our whole 53-man roster over the Buffalo Bills roster any day of the week. Running backs, definitely. Offensive line, definitely. Receiver, definitely. Tight end, definitely. Quarterback, okay, we'll give you that one. Josh Allen's a weapon. Defensively, I just don't see – I don't think they're big enough up front. I think our offensive line, like you said, is going to have a day. I think they're just going to manhandle their front. I don't think that the Buffalo Bills defense is fast like ours is, like you mentioned with Alexander, Jamal Adams, David Long, even Jack Campbell's flying around, man. Like Jack Campbell's quietly like having potentially an MVP season for the Lions. Like he's been kind of the consistent X factor. Like front 7, everyone's been out. Jack Campbell's been there playing every game. I do think that the Lions are going to win. I just don't see how the Bills can win a shootout game with us when we have more weapons. They might have a big weapon with Allen, but we got so many weapons. We can kill you. We can kill you 1,000 different ways.
Yeah, I got to pump the brakes on Josh Allen being the best player on the field because Panay is going to have something to say about that.
Well, from a skill position standpoint, but hey, what if? Fun fact: what if Penei Sewell throws for more touchdowns than Josh Allen?
Yes, Ben Johnson has shown that it's not off the table. It's not off the table. So who knows, man? I wouldn't be surprised if why am I losing his name? Dan Skipper, man, that said throws for a touchdown. Like who knows who's going to be throwing, catching. You never know what Ben Johnson is going to be doing out there, and I love that aspect of it too. But let's keep some of this stuff for the playoffs, man. Don't use it all up. You know what I mean? Keep some.
Yeah, they tried to do that little like tackle reverse swing pass. I don't even know what you would call that. And I said that's not the last time you're going to see that. Like Ben Johnson is going to make that play work somehow.
Yeah, the only thing that I hate about those plays is he's got to report eligible. A lot of people were talking about him running the ball and him being in the backfield, him doing all these things. If you don't have a number from 0 to 49, or you don't have a number in the 80s.
There's the grand finale. I think we're all done.
Just want to make sure we're good. Are they coming here or whatever? But yeah, if you don't have a number from 0 to 49 or 80 to 89, then you got to report as eligible, man. So I think that telegraphs things a little bit. I just love that aspect of not having a report, having eligible numbers, and being able to navigate through those things like that, man. So for me, I think that there's a space for those plays without a doubt, but I want to see it in our normal, with our normal offense executed with our normal guys, man. And I think that we got more than enough talent to be able to do it, especially when you got guys like Timothy Patrick running around. You know what I mean?
Hey, if he scores another touchdown, we can call him that for at least another week. I think he's got to score a touchdown a week for us to maintain that nickname.
That's his name for me from now on. The 2 tutty week.
Yeah, maybe we give him a bye week. Maybe he can have a bye week, a week off with the nickname, since he did get 2 last game against the crybaby Packers.
No doubt, man. Defensively, man, who you looking at player of the game defensively?
I really think that Aleem McNeil is got to be the best defensive player on the field. And I love Brian Branch. I love Zadarius Smith. But I think Aleem McNeil has really stepped up since Hutch got hurt. Like, we were looking for that pass rusher. We all knew that, hey, a trade's going to happen. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. We ended up getting Zadarius Smith. But I think that time in between, I can't remember the games, but I think Aleem McNeil had like a couple 2-sack games back-to-back, something crazy like that. Like, he was just bullying people. I think he's going to have another monster game. Josh Allen's hard to sack. He's very elusive. He's athletic. He can run. But I think if Aleem just takes that guard center and just bull rushes him right back into Allen's lap before he even has time to realize what's going on, I'll say 1.5 sacks for Aleem McNeil. Little bye week, had some time to heal up his boo-boos. I know he had that little scare against the Packers with the concussion, but he's a full go, so I'm not worried about him, dealing with any injuries. I think 1.5 sacks for Aleem McNeil. What do you say?
I'm going with a guy who's been getting beat up on a little bit by fans, and I think that it was unjust, the abuse that he's been getting. It hasn't been crazy abuse. I don't want to make it like it's more than it is, but I see a lot of people talking about him on Twitter. I see a lot of novice fans that weren't Lions fans in our circle of group. They made comments about him and his pass interference calls. Now I know where you're going. You know where I'm going now, and that's Terion Arnold. Coach Glenn came out and talked about Terion Arnold this week, and he said that he feels like he's starting to take off. Coach Campbell said the same thing, and Coach Glenn said that he feels like over the next couple of seasons, Terion Arnold is going to be one of the best cornerbacks in the league. He's going to be in that conversation. I've seen it from jump. How he covers people man-to-man is special. Now, he panics in moments when the ball's in the air. He's a rookie. He's got to go through those growing pains. I don't think that is anything that we should be super worried about, but he's gotten better every week. When I go into this film and I start watching every single play and just breaking down guys and looking at what they're doing, he's got a lot of plays where he's got people strapped up. Like,
he almost had a first interception last week too. Yeah,
man. I mean, he's got a lot of plays where he's doing some cool things. Does he have some mistakes? He does, but he's getting better and better. And this is the time of the year where you watch rookies start to become veterans. They got the experience under their belt. They've seen 10, 12 weeks of NFL football. They're starting to get a level of comfort of how to prepare for the football games. What's it like to go to an away game? What's it like to be at a home game? Getting your family and friends their tickets, getting a routine going, getting to the facility at a certain time, getting a feel for that. It's starting to click for him. You can see it. I think that this might be the opportunity for him. I know I can't pick 2, so I'll just say Kirby Joseph will be fishing around there too, but I'm going with Terion. But the only reason I mention those guys, because to win this football game, Josh Allen's going to have to throw this thing 40 times. He's going to have to throw that thing around. I don't think that he's going to be throwing it at Carlton Davis. So who's the next guy up? It's got to be Terion Arnold. The opportunities are going to be there. I believe in him. I think he's a hell of a football player. Book it. Will set it. Terion Arnold, first interception at home, black jersey against the Buffalo Bills.
Pick 6?
I won't go pick 6. I'd love to see it, though.
Listen, well, when you're making a prediction, you go big or go home, okay?
It's hard for corners, man. It's hard for corners to get that pick 6. Most of the time, them corners, man, if they jump a route, like an out route or a choice route, and they're running downhill, those are those pick 6s. But normally, man, those are those safeties that get them pick 6s to the crib.
You know what, Will?
Talk to me.
It's a good thing that the boys on the boat, when they landed at the beaches of Normandy, didn't just say, "Oh yeah, I'm good with just taking the beach. Like I don't care if we win the war, just as long as we take the beach."
I'm
Like
just going with my
stand on
prediction.
an island, Will, and make a statement. Okay, say Terion Arnold pick six. I've been calling for that defensive touchdown all season. I got to get one eventually, right? And here's the thing about Terion Arnold: his only negative plays are the pass interference calls. And honestly, I think some of them are ticky tacky. I'm not going to turn this into a ref show, but I don't think he deserves all of those pass interference calls. I think that's just
I
kind
agree.
of the lumps of being a rookie. He had some bad ones early, and then there were some like, all right, man, come on, like it's football. You know, we're not playing tennis here. There's going to be a little contact, okay? He tackles well. He's in coverage well. Like this dude's been probably, dare I say, I think within 3 years he's going to be a Sauce Gardner type corner where he's locking people down. I don't think he's
Oh,
there. I don't think he's there yet. I think he's
whoa.
still got a lot to learn. I think he's benefiting quite a bit from being the number two corner, where Sauce
Yeah.
Gardner got drafted by the Jets and he had to be that guy on the outside right away. But I think within 2 or 3 years, we're going to be having that conversation of draft steals. Like we fleeced the Cowboys in that trade. We robbed the NFL. That's going to be the title of a show here probably within the next 12 months. The only negative plays he has is the pass interference calls. If he gets his timing down and gets used to the speed of football, he's going to be fine because he's out there in coverage doing well, doing very well, tackling. He does it all, man. He's just got to clean it up a little bit. And we said that when we drafted him. Like, there's going to be a learning curve. All right, he's not going to be a lockdown corner right away. That's very, very hard to do. But I think cornerback's probably the hardest position other than quarterback. You got a lot to learn. These guys in the NFL are much faster than they are in college. They can all run every single route. You got these quarterbacks who are elite. It's a different ballgame in the NFL. I think Terion Arnold should be more of a mention for defensive player of the or defensive rookie of the year.
Yeah, I don't hate it, man. I think that he can, on the back end of the season, if he makes a couple plays, he can definitely get his name solidified into the conversation. But yeah, I'm not gonna go with the pick six. I'm not gonna let Steve pressure me into it, but I do see Terion Arnold getting his first pick against the Buffalo Bills, man. Moving along to that offense, Steve. Offensive player of the game. Who you rocking with?
I'm still saying Jared Goff. I think he's going to have a huge game. I watched Stafford have a huge game. I think him, like I said it before, him and Stafford are essentially the same pocket passing type quarterbacks. Get in the pocket, be comfortable, spread the ball around, get through your reads, pick apart the zone, take advantage of your mismatches on one-on-ones. I think Jared Goff's going to throw for 350, 3 touchdowns, and yeah, I said that before. So who are you thinking? Jahmyr Gibbs still? I think you mentioned that earlier.
Yeah, Jahmyr Gibbs. I didn't give the numbers though, so I'm saying Jahmyr Gibbs. I think that he goes for, I'm gonna say 95 yards and 2 tutties, man. I think he's gonna have a long one and he's gonna make a couple plays, but then it'll be a heavy dose of David Montgomery as well, and but he'll have the bigger plays, man. I think that he takes a long run to the house and then he gets a screenplay to the house as well. And 2 tutties for David or for Jahmyr Gibbs. I think that like I said, about 90 yards rushing, and I'll go with 55 yards receiving.
Your least favorite part of the day.
Yeah.
Final score prediction. What do you think?
Listen, I'm feeling good about this, and I think this is why, man. I think it is going to be a shootout, but by shootout, I think that the offenses are going to be attempting to move the ball around the field. The only difference is the Detroit Lions are going to be successful in their shootout. The Buffalo Bills aren't going to be successful. They're going to score some points because they're a good freaking football team. So I'm going to give Buffalo Bills 24 points, right? And I'm going to give the Detroit Lions 31. So it's not a blowout. It's not a blowout, but I don't think it'll be a nail biter. I think that we'll be up. Buffalo Bills will score towards the end, make it look a little bit more respectable. But where it's going to be more than that 3-point game that they're predicting. What do you think?
I think I'm basing my prediction solely based off of what I saw from the Buffalo Bills last week. You're only as good as your last game. I watched the Detroit Lions offense click a little bit against a good Green Bay Packers team, and then I watched the Buffalo Bills defense get torched by old man Stafford. Like, he went up and down the field on him for over 300. I think that the Lions make a statement. All right, we talked about it the other day. The rest of the ESPN guys, everyone's writing us off already. Like, we've won 11 games, 12 games in a row, 11 games in a row. I can't even keep count, Will. We've won so many damn games in a row. But I'm basing it off of what I saw from each team the last time I saw them play. The Detroit Lions offense looked good. The Buffalo Bills defense looked like Swiss cheese. It got carved up. I think that the Lions win this game 38-24. I think we flirt with 40. I think Jared Goff has a monster game. I hope Jahmyr Gibbs has a monster game. Lord knows my fantasy football needs it after I watched that San Francisco 49ers and Rams game the other night where there's 0 touchdowns scored and I had 4 players going. So I need something from Jahmyr Gibbs. Okay. I need you to be right. I think we win this game by two touchdowns. Make a statement. Everyone at ESPN will love us again. We'll be the Super Bowl favorites, book the trips. Yep. Detroit Lions are the team to beat, all that. We already knew that here at Detroit 10-3-1-3. So 2 touchdown win for me.
I like that, man. I like that a lot. I hope you're right and I'm wrong, man, because I do not want to see a nail biter. Before we get out of here, we talked about it a little bit. We're going to be in them black jerseys. We're going to be in them black jerseys. But a little wrinkle to the black jerseys. It's not going to be just the black jerseys. At midfield, what you are going to see, yes, sir, what you are going to see midfield is a black Detroit Lion at midfield. They already do the stadium Motor City muscle with the black with the blue
banners.
With the banners on the outside, man. Changing the Lion up. I think they got the Detroit in the end zones outlined in black as well, man. I think that they're trying to make a statement, man. I know Amon-Ra St. Brown said he feels like when he puts them black jerseys on, they're going to a funeral. So, hey, you know what these guys are going to be on, man. I'm excited for it, man. I'm hoping that the Detroit Lions do what they always do and just take care of business, man, and find a way to win. Whether they win by a couple of touchdowns or they win by 3, I don't care. At the end of the day, I just want to see them get it done.
Yeah, again, I hope everyone has an awful time at the football game. I hope they run out of beer. I hope the food sucks. I hope that the introductions all suck. I hope that the national anthem sucks. The halftime show sucks. But I do hope that the Detroit Lions get a win. I will be watching from an airplane, screaming. I might get kicked off this flight. I don't know what the rules are for screaming on an airplane, but I'll be watching while we're flying back home. Stick around, hit that like button, leave some comments. We'll be back later with another show.